Alright, let's dive into something that's both fascinating and a little alarming. Have you ever heard of rabbit fever? No, it's not some cute nickname for an obsession with bunnies. It's actually a rare disease called Tularemia, and it's making headlines in Suffolk County, New York. Here's the kicker: a woman in Riverhead got it from her cat. Yes, her cat. Personally, I think this story is a perfect example of how nature can surprise us in the most unexpected ways. It's not just about a rare disease, it's about the intricate web of connections between animals, humans, and the environment. What makes this really interesting is how tularemia spreads. It's not just a cat-to-human thing. Ticks, flies, and even contaminated water can be carriers. From my perspective, this highlights how vulnerable we are to diseases that originate in wildlife. We often think of infections as something that happens in far-off places, but this is happening right in suburban America. The woman in Riverhead was just trying to give her cat medication when it bit her. Who would have thought that simple act could lead to something so serious? One thing that immediately stands out is how easily this disease can go unnoticed. The woman's symptoms started with a nasty-looking finger, but it wasn't until her blood cultures came back positive that doctors realized it was tularemia. Now, let's talk about cats. According to a 2024 study, cats are notably susceptible to tularemia. What many people don't realize is that outdoor cats, especially young adults, are at higher risk because they're constantly exposed to ticks and small mammals. If you take a step back and think about it, this raises a deeper question: how much do we really know about the health risks our pets face? We often think of them as invincible, but they're just as vulnerable to these kinds of diseases as we are. The cat in this story, sadly, died from the disease. This isn't just a human health issue, it's a reminder that our pets are part of this ecosystem too. Another detail I find fascinating is the rise in tularemia cases in Suffolk County. This year alone, there have been 4 cases, compared to 3 in 2023 and 1 in 2022. What this really suggests is that something is changing, whether it's environmental factors, animal behavior, or something else entirely. The CDC reports that nationwide, cases range between 150 and 200 annually, but local spikes like this are worth paying attention to. Personally, I think this could be a sign of larger ecological shifts, like changes in tick populations or wildlife migration patterns. It's not just a random occurrence, it's part of a bigger trend. Now, let's talk about the human impact. Tracy Detmer's 9-year-old son, John, was diagnosed with tularemia after being bitten by a tick. His story is a stark reminder that this disease doesn't discriminate. Kids, adults, and even pets are at risk. What's striking is how long it can take to recover. John still has low energy months later, and his mom says doctors told her it just takes time. This raises a deeper question: how prepared are we to deal with these kinds of diseases? Are we doing enough to educate people about the risks? In my opinion, stories like these should be a wake-up call to take these risks more seriously. If you take a step back and think about it, tularemia is a perfect example of how interconnected our world is. It's not just about ticks or rabbits or cats, it's about how all these elements come together to create risks we might not even be aware of. From my perspective, this story is a reminder that we need to be more proactive about understanding and mitigating these risks. Whether it's protecting our pets, educating ourselves, or advocating for better public health measures, we all have a role to play. So, what's the takeaway here? Personally, I think it's this: nature is full of surprises, and we need to be prepared for them. Tularemia might be rare, but it's a stark reminder of how vulnerable we are to diseases that originate in the natural world. It's also a call to action, to be more aware, more informed, and more proactive. What do you think? Are we doing enough to protect ourselves and our pets from these kinds of risks? Let me know in the comments below. And remember, the next time your cat comes in from outside, maybe give them a quick once-over for ticks. It could save you both a lot of trouble.